As we finish up the end of the 2022 yellow birch season, I figured I'd do a little bit more of a rundown on this homemade reverse osmosis and how it works and what's in it and the setup and cleanup and how we take care of it from start to finish. So we have, this is our pre-filter that's going to go into a 55-gallon drum of raw sap. And this is just a pre-filter that come off Amazon, actually intended for a pressure washer. It's a soap filter with a coupling up to a little tiny ball valve. Now if you're wondering how that stays so straight, we have a piece of 332 stainless TIG wire up in there. I found when it was new it just wanted to curl up and I couldn't get the soap to stay down in the bottom of the barrel, so I just slid a piece of 332 TIG wire in there, and that helps keep the rigidity of it. Well, this will go in our fresh sap barrel. This is gonna suck out of here with the valve on. Gonna go from our sap barrel to a Aquatech DD 5800 pump to Aqua Plus whole house sediment filter. Any of them will work. I just happen to have an Aqua Plus. We're gonna run a 5 micron sediment filter in there. So out of the sediment filter to the reverse osmosis membranes, and these are membrane solution 400 gallon per day RO filters. I've got a ball valve there just to isolate these when we change out the filter, but these are all gonna go through here in parallel. I don't have them going from one to the next so they concentrate. We run a batch system, so after it's concentrated it'll go back to that or into our barrel and head straight for the evaporator. The other thing we've got to run this pump, it took a transformer, so it's a step down transformer to get us there. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to release the pressure. We've got to change the sediment filter out. It's got the wash filter in it right now. So that's a pretty clean wash filter for wash up every time. Then we're going to put our little dirtier sap filter back in. This one gets stored in the refrigerator to keep it below 40 degrees. I like to hold these upside down so I know it's in the groove there, and I can see this one as it lines up. I've crushed some of these and they don't work quite as well when they've been crushed. So that's all set up. So that's ready to go. This little T-handle in here is our brass needle valve, and that restricts the flow on the concentrate side to force more through the RO membranes. So we're going to get it plugged in and start getting some of this water flushed out. Now you can see right now they're starting to fill up, and we're just going to release the air out of it. Now it should start pumping. So we've got the concentrate going in to this barrel here. I'm just gonna rinse this out because it got a little stuff in it over the night. I forgot to cap it. It got windy here. Now that's just clear water coming out for this first little bit. So this barrel is going to hold our clean reverse osmosis water for cleanup. It's important to save all that water that we have. We got enough through here. I like to transfer that back into the main barrel for about 4 to 5 minutes. Make sure everything gets through the system, the water gets out. So the concentrate line will be in the raw sap barrel. The permeate line will be in its own barrel. And after about 5 minutes, I will change that concentrate line into this little water jug. And then we'll get it put in the evaporator. That concentrate's ran back into the raw sap for about 5 minutes now. So I'm going to turn that needle valve in, and it's going to stop the flow of that concentrate. And then we're going to put this in the barrel. So when I open that needle valve, it's ever so slightly. So I'm putting about, for every 10 gallons I put in permeate, I'm getting about 5 gallons of concentrate in one pass on this system. And we're just going to let that run. It's going to take about 45 minutes for us to get 5 gallons of concentrate out of this system. We're on about our 4th half bucket right now. So 10 gallons of concentrate so far. I'm gonna put that in another bucket for now. What I like to do about every 10 gallons is I'll close that needle valve totally, and I'm gonna put the concentrate back in the raw sap barrel. Then I'm gonna open that needle valve up all the way. And that's pretty much going to flow to the permeate and sending everything back here. So all we're doing right now is taking advantage of flow, and we're just rushing tons of raw sap over them membranes right now, and it's going to help clean them off a little bit. But we'll do this for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes. We'll let it circulate back to tank, flushing just as fast as it can, getting everything off the membranes. And then we'll switch it back over. So that needle valve's open, wide open right now, and we're getting a fair trickle through the membranes. So that's telling me that the membranes are nowhere near yet. So just as a maintenance thing, I like to over flood them and flush everything off them. In about 5 minutes, we'll bring the needle valve back. We'll come back into our concentrate bucket and start all over again. So I do transfer that into that clear tote because the sugar shack is way back there. This is the last remaining snow pile we have left for refrigeration for this sap, because we're only getting about enough every other day to warrant ROing this and boiling it off. So we're set up here. That's why I'm dumping this clear barrel out, because from the sugar shack back there, I can see this clear barrel fill up, and then when it's about halfway, I'll come and get it. We just tipped the barrel out and got the last little bit out, so now we're gonna start the cleaning process. So this here is 10 gallons of really hot water, about 130-ish, give or take a little bit one way or another. So So we're going to open up the needle valve and let this start purging through. I find if we don't open up that needle valve and let it suck as much as it can, this pump does not like to prime through the RO membranes. So we'll give that a second to start sucking. Alright, we got hot water to the pre-filter, and that's still the same pre-filter that we've been running all the raw sap through. I'm going to do both batches of hot water through it, and then we're going to change it out to actually clean this. So that's running really good. So now I'm going to close this up to as if I was ROing sap. Okay, just a very little trickle going through there. So we're going to suck this 5 gallons of hot water mostly through the RO membrane. That way, if we had any sugar get through the membrane, hopefully that dissolves it and flushes it out. The next 5-gallon bucket, we're going to go needle valve wide open and run it both through the membrane and over the top of the membrane to get any sugars and bacteria on there that we have. And then we'll change the filter out and start the cleaning process.